Hello, viewer.
Howdy.
Welcome back to Results Driven and our nutrition habit seminar module stuff. We're here giving you tips on how to eat healthy to help you look, move, and feel better. Our last habit was eating vegetables with every meal, but what about fruit and other starches? So we want you to have vegetables with every meal, then fruit with any meal, and then we want you to focus on planning starches for after your workouts.
Our nutrition habits aren't setting you up to follow a low-carb diet. We want to make sure that you're able to follow a controlled carb diet. Now, if we break down this habit, you're having vegetables with every meal, fruit can be had with any, and starches are reserved for after a workout. Fruits and vegetables, if you're having the right types, tend to be lower in carbohydrates. So we're still getting enough to give us energy, but we're not getting so much that we're spiking blood sugar throughout the day. If you continuously spike blood sugar, then you're always spiking it and dropping, and you lower your sensitivity to insulin. Resistance training actually depletes your glycogen stores in your muscles. That's stored carbohydrates. After a workout, we need to replenish those glycogen stores. It's one part of the process that helps hit reset on the metabolism and puts you in the right environment to burn fat. You're a lot better able to do that if your body is actually sensitive to insulin. By having lower carbs throughout the day or a controlled amount of carbs throughout the day, and then having purposely higher amounts after your workout, you're able to only use a little bit of insulin to get the full result. A bonus on that is insulin is actually an anabolic hormone. So if we get control over it, it's going to help build something. If we're doing resistance training, what you're building, if you don't overeat carbohydrates, is actually going to be more likely muscle than fat.
So what kind of starches should you focus on? We have your rice, we have quinoa or potatoes, any of the pastas. It could also be a rice pasta or quinoa pasta. Any of those would be acceptable for post-workout carbohydrates.
One of the first complaints we get from people when they're following these habits is that we're taking away some of the foods they like your breads, your pastas. The cool thing about this is that if we follow the order of priority we talked about earlier, we want to focus on calories first, then macronutrients, your protein, fat, and carbs, and then quality of food. So this is actually an opportunity to still get some of those things you enjoy. Don't worry about whether bread is bad or not. Don't worry about if you should have white rice versus brown rice. Just make sure you have those starches at the right times, and we can take steps later on to make sure we're getting the healthiest option.
So if starches are a food group that you really enjoy, that doesn't mean that you have to cut them out. We don't want to have a restrictive diet here. We want to actually give you rules to help you enjoy the things that you like at the right times. So if you're going to work out 4 times this week, look at your planner and plan in the starches that you want at those times. Later on, we'll talk about cheat meals and how we actually want you to go off the plan sometimes during the week.
This is the first rule that we purposely break. There's going to be a few things that help you determine whether or not you should only have starches after a workout. The amount of muscle mass you have, what your activity level is outside of your workouts, and how intense your workouts actually are. Please don't assume that you are that person that's going to be able to break these habits, and don't use it as an excuse to eat extra starch. You want to make sure you start off trying to follow this rule, and then from there, you let your in-body measurements, so the progress in terms of your body composition, and how hungry you are, drive whether it might be the right choice for you to add extra starch meals in.
Later on, we'll go over how you actually. Later on, we'll go over cheat meals and how you.
Don't worry if is bread bad? I can go back to don't worry?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't worry is bread bad? By having starch after a workout, you're getting adequate carbohydrates. Dude.
You're getting.
No, my nose was so itchy, I got to the point I couldn't think. Okay. Ed. Didn't help.